First of all, I'd like to thank Yogesh ji, Rajneesh ji from Infama for continuing to associate me with this annual event for last more than half a dozen years. My friends on the dais, Bhagati Reddy, Janaya Neelam ji, Vinod Agarwal ji, and some known and others have already been told by him. And I'll try not to repeat them because it becomes boring for the participants. Secondly, my job has been made more difficult by Janaya Neelam for giving more details. I will start on a not so positive scenario. See, the renewable energy scenario today, especially for the place where we are, India in general, South India more so, and Telangana, is a mixed scene. We are seeing conflicting, contradictory developments. I am not sounding a negative this thing. At one level, we are seeing excellent growth in the capacity addition for non-fossil fuel energy, which number again has been told by Bhagati Reddy. We have added about 65 gigawatt in the last few years, 191 gigawatt since beginning. Excellent. But then on the other side, so there something more needs to be done. How? We all have to think about it. When we see globally, today India is number 5 globally in terms of economic, financial, this thing. And in next few years, we are planning and definitely will be number 3. But then, when we become number 3, we will be the top 3 carbon emission countries also. Presently also we are the 3rd largest carbon emission country after US and China. And we will take much more time to come from number 3 to number 2. I agree with Bhakti Reddy, we are only 4% contributing. But then our share in the global economy is also 3 or 4% only, not more. So when our share increases in the global economy, how much our carbon emissions will increase? We are not discussing that. I'll come to the next thing. This is at the national level. Generally, we talk about South India being more advanced industrially, financially, living standards, all those things. Partly correct. But if I ask you, which are the 2 cities which are number 1 and 2 in the country in terms of carbon emission as a ratio of their GDP? Both are in South India. Chennai, number 1. I think if I remember the number here, it is 2.5 tons of carbon emission per 1 lakh GDP, 1 lakh rupees of GDP. Bangalore, number 2, approximately 2.15 tons of, metric tons of carbon emission. These 2 states are generally more developed than Hyderabad. We all know it. So, our carbon emission is more where we are more industrially, economically advanced. Part of the reason our electricity consumption is more, our energy consumption is more. Telangana is approximately 2,000 units per capita per annum consumption as against 1,300 national average of units per capita per consumption. In the West, it is around 3,500 to 4,000 units. We are aspiring to grow to that level. Our lifestyle, our electronic equipments are in that direction. So in South India, positive thing, we are leading in the renewable energy sector also. 5 states, I'll give the number here, 5, Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. These 5 main states. If we see renewable energy or non-fossil fuel energy capacity, we are the 5 states of South India, about 35% of the national capacity. So we are leading. 2 of the top 4 states are from South India. If we see electric vehicle penetration sale last year, 26% is from 4 states out of this 5. We were talking about carbon sink. As per the latest Indian Forest Status Report last year, at the national level, 1,250 square kilometers of forest cover has increased in the country. 1,250. It's a small number compared to the total area of the country. But I am trying to see a coincidence. Our renewable energy is increasing. Our forest has also started increasing. Few states, forest cover has decreased. 8 states, forest cover has increased. Overall, the 2,250 square kilometers has increased. 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 square kilometers has decreased in different states. But out of this 2,250 square kilometers of forest cover increase in the country, 1,500 square kilometers is accounted for by the 4 southern states. See, so we are progressing in that line also. But I think Telangana accounts for about 640, other states, Andhra also substantially, others are 100, 200 like that, the 2 other states. So we are seeing contradictory developments. In the national context, southern India is most vulnerable compared to others for climate change adverse impact. This is all recorded. Then comes, I think, eastern India, then western India, then northern India, like that in sequence. So how do we find a balance? It's a challenge for us. We are doing the right things overall, but still we are not able to reduce the carbon emissions. It's a challenge. Some steps, some strategies have been initiated by Bharatiya Janata. I will not try to repeat that. We will be starting with that. But in the days to come, all of us and many more who are not here have to come up with some solutions, some strategies where we can decrease the carbon emissions much more. Because only few countries are net zero as of now. I think you all must be knowing. The most common country which is net zero is Bhutan. We would all like to go for tourism, but how many of us would like to live there? During my age, yes, but not at the growing age when you are looking for growth, entrepreneurship, etc. So that will be a challenge between the net zero state of Bhutan, and the highly developed or developing countries like US, China and India, which are contributing to carbon emissions, how we find a balance. Thank you. With this, I thank Informa Markets once again.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, solar energy producer owners are superstars. The audience guests came to this meeting are mega stars. Etat desha prasutasya vishesha dagra janmaha swam swam charitran siksharan prithvivya sarva bharatiyataha. See, India is the fastest growing economy country, and we are the third largest producing solar energy and wind energy, fourth energy consumption and energy producer. See, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no scientific discoveries could have been made. India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of tradition, and the great-grandmother of legend. The most valuable and instructive materials of the mankind are treasured up from our Indian culture only. Be proud of being an Indian. 1 out of 7 people living in the world is an Indian. Thank you very much, sir. I am Badrinath, retired Deputy Commissioner. I am privileged to stand before my Guru, sir, Mishra, sir. I worked under him. Now I am the Secretary General for 5,000 gated communities in Hyderabad, and I am the convener for Korwa, Confederation of Residential Welfare Associations across the country. With the help of Janaya sir, we are going to adopt this solar rooftop EV charging stations and street lights and water recycling. Everything we are doing, sir, to get our India to be a carbon-free emission country. Thank you very much. I am very grateful and thankful to you all, sir.
Informa Markets ఈ సమావేశం ఆర్గనైజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. పాత 8 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి ఆయనకి కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్, బెస్ట్ విషెస్. ప్రస్తుతం రెన్యూబుల్ ఎనర్జీలో మన భారతవర్ష్ 5th పొజిషన్లో ఉంది. మన ఎకానమీలో కూడా 5th పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నాం. మనకి ప్రోగ్రెస్ ఉండాలి. కొన్ని సంవత్సరాల్లో మన 3rd పొజిషన్లో వస్తాం. కార్బన్ ఎమిషన్స్ కూడా చూడాలి. ఎందుకంటే యుఎస్, చైనా తర్వాత కార్బన్ ఎమిషన్స్లో మనము 3rd పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నాం. అదే తగ్గించాలి. రెన్యూబుల్ ఎనర్జీలో మన పొజిషన్ పెరగాలి. అదే నా విష్, నా మెసేజ్.
సార్, ఇప్పుడు అంటే ఎలా ఉంది సార్, ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఎలా ఉంది గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి కానీ, లేకపోతే పీపుల్ ఎట్లా ఫార్వర్డ్ వస్తున్నారు లేదా దానికి సంబంధించి ఎలాంటి అవగాహన రావాలి?
ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా తరఫు నుంచి చాలా స్కీమ్స్, చాలా ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇన్సెంటివ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి పాత 10 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి. అదే కంపెనీస్కి ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ గ్రీన్ హైడ్రోజన్ మిషన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ వచ్చింది. దీనిలో సుమారుగా 19,000 crores గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా హ్యాస్ ఇయర్ మార్క్. కొన్ని సంవత్సరాలు 5 yearsలో వీ విల్ బీ స్పెండింగ్. అదే 1 స్కీమ్ చెప్పండి.
ఈరోజు మన హైదరాబాద్ పట్టణంలో రెన్యూఎక్స్ 8th సెషన్ ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జిబిషన్స్ నడుస్తున్నది. దీంట్లో భాగంగా ఈరోజు ఆల్ ఓవర్ ఇండియా నుంచి సోలార్ డెవలపర్స్, ప్లాంట్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్స్, ఇన్వర్టర్స్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్స్, ఎలక్ట్రిక్ వెహికల్ ఛార్జింగ్ స్టేషన్స్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్స్, వాళ్ళ యొక్క ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్స్ ఇక్కడ ఒక బిజినెస్ డిస్ప్లే కోసం మన దగ్గర హైటెక్ సిటీలో పెట్టడం జరిగింది. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో భాగంగా రెన్యూవబుల్ ఎనర్జీని దేశం మొత్తం ఏ విధంగా ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా పాలసీస్ ఏ విధంగా ఉన్నాయి, తెలంగాణ పాలసీస్ ఏ విధంగా ఉన్నాయి, తెలంగాణలో కూడా రెన్యూవబుల్ ఎనర్జీ సోలార్ కానీ మిగతా ఎనర్జీ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ కానీ విండ్ కానీ వేస్ట్ ఎనర్జీ కానీ ఏ విధంగా పెనిట్రేట్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఏ విధంగా డెవలప్ చేస్తున్నారు, అదేవిధంగా ఏ విధంగా చేస్తే ఇంకా ఫర్దర్ 2070 కల్లా గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఇచ్చిన నెట్ జీరో టార్గెట్ని తెలంగాణలో ఏ విధంగా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాలి అనే దాని మీద వేరే శాస్త్రస్ మీద సెమినార్లు ఉంటాయి, డిస్కషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. బిజినెస్ టు బిజినెస్ క్లయింట్స్తో మీటింగ్స్ ఆర్గనైజ్ ఇన్ఫామా మార్కెట్ వారు ఆర్గనైజ్ చేస్తున్న సందర్భంగా ఈ ఈవెంట్కి మేము రావడం జరిగింది.
Innovation that we are doing, I think there are a lot of new different technologies that come in, solar panels and inverter technology, so all those innovations are being showcased. I think what I can say is this year the number of brands which are come in are the most leading banks of the country. Those are the top ones like Vikram Solar, Vari, Premier, everybody is there. The international brands are there over here. So I think that shows the importance of South India as a region. Hyderabad as a hub and South India as a region in terms of generating solar power. I think something which is very good for us to see.
Right. So if we talk about the government's initiative that PM Muft Bijli, Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, as well as the thrust for hydrogen fuel, how do you see that these are going to drive the growth for REI's renewable energy sector?
No, absolutely. I think the target definitely we all know is 500 megawatts. We are around 200 now, so there has to be a big thrust on how we promote it. And now this vision of Har Ghar Mein Solar, I think which we have talking of 1 crore houses rooftop solar in next few years. That's going to be add a lot of capacity, and that's going to be also making us an energy surplus country. So it's actually going to be benefiting this sector in terms of power generation.